Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Oops, I was on mute, I guess. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you to have made it. We'll get started in just a few minutes. We're waiting for Deepak to join us. And also a bunch of people we're expecting. Welcome, Adele, Anirudhan, Brianna, Diane. So it would be nice to know where you're all from. Where you're all from? Why don't you guys put in, your country or the city you're from in chat? That would be fantastic. It would be nice to know where everybody's from here. Hey, Joseph. Awesome. Hey, Jamie from Poole. We've got Eric from Scotland, Stockholm. Wisconsin, USA. Swati from India. Awesome. Brianna from California. So we've got a lot of people from the US. We've got a lot of people from the UK. Awesome. Let me make sure we're all set here. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure Deepak found the right link. He seems to have joined my meeting link. He should be here any minute. We'll get started. Oops, I was on mute again. Sorry about that. I was just trying to catch hold of Deepak. He should be here any minute. And then we'll get started. Let's just give it a quick minute and we'll begin. So we'll follow the standard format. We'll, of course, walk you guys through everything we plan on talking about. We'll do the Q&A at the end. So we look forward to some interesting questions. And I wouldn't miss an opportunity to ask Deepak some amazing questions, of course. Just making sure we're all set here. Hey, Deepak, how are you doing?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good, my friend. Good to be here. I'm not. Can you help me with getting my video on? It's not allowing me. It says it's probably a automated setting on Zoom or something. It says the host is not letting me.
Let me try and do that. Give me a second.
Yeah. No problem.
That is strange because that is strange actually. Let me just figure this out.
That's okay. I'll talk to everybody while they're here. Hey guys, how are you? It looks like there's 44 people in the audience. I'm writing hello in the chat. Hopefully people can hear me at least. And are able to respond. Okay, brilliant. Okay, fantastic. So guys, as you know, while Shakar is helping me get onto video, I'm excited to talk to you about basically e-commerce SEO and hopefully give you some advice or tell you things that you don't know. What would be amazing is how if you could write just Y for yes and N for no, how many of you are involved with an e-commerce website? Maybe it sounds like a silly question, but put Y if you are, and then put N if you're not. I'm expecting it to be 95% Ys, but I could always be surprised. Brilliant.
There you go.
Look at that. You guys were missing out on my beautiful face. Don't you feel a lot better now that I'm here? You're like, wow, Shakara, you were going to do us an injustice, my friend.
I just wanted to make sure it is really you. I didn't want to hang out with any other guy I know called Deepak. So
Absolutely. Well, no, there's other Deepaks, but there's really one main dude that you want to know when it's Deepak. So I'm gonna shut up now and let you continue, Shekhar. Thank you, everybody. I am seeing all your messages come in.
there's a lot of yeses. Awesome.
Good.
Okay, so thanks a lot for joining us, Deepak. It's amazing that you were able to make it. We've had a lot of conversations before. This is probably the first conversation we are having publicly,
Yeah.
because at least I used to find our conversations full of information, and that's what sort of gave me the motivation to make this public. So of course, I want to begin with, of course, why we even decided to have this webinar, right? One of the key questions I've been getting on my social media, at least, is you've been talking about conversion optimization. That's what your company does. You do a bunch of email marketing, SEO. Why are you guys talking about SEO? And the reasons this man right here. We share a bunch of clients. We've basically worked on numerous businesses where optimizing the experience to improve conversions and revenue is, of course, been the center of our goal. But what we've also realized is you cannot take the basic pillars that any business stands on away, which is to bring the right audience, to have a product that truly means something for them, and have it at the right price, ship it at the right price. So some very fundamental basics of what makes e-commerce work. And there's really no better way to bring the right audience than to organically try and drive it. And that's, of course, where SEO comes. And that's something that so directly influences conversion rates that I can't even put it in words. So of course, I would want to, of course, introduce you, Deepak, first of all. Pearl Lemon, CEO. I think for the people that already don't know about you, Deepak has worked with hundreds of clients, brands across the world, actually. Some of them being large corporations, doing 8, 9, 10-figure revenues, of course. And he's been featured in TEDx, NBC, Huffington Post, ABC, Inc. Damn, you're everywhere. And so I'd say Deepak knows a thing or two about SEO. That's probably what I'd say. And that's actually really why we wanted to have, bring Deepak, give him the center stage, let him talk about what he does best, so that we can all get some free knowledge and be on our way. Thanks a lot for joining us, Deepak.
Dude, it's cool. Guys, I'm very embarrassed by that introduction. I don't think any of those things about myself. Please judge me on the quality of the content that I provide today, and let that be the measure and the mark of how useful you find this. But thank you, Shekhar. It's nice to know that you think those things did. Look, SEO is Pearl Lemon. We do SEO. E-commerce SEO is a big part of our bread and butter. And I really want you to walk away from this conversation with real world things that you can do for your business. Am I free, Shekhar, to take the floor now and to just start?
Be my guest. I'm just going to stop sharing and all yours.
Yeah, no problem. So everybody, this is going to be quite a practical demonstration, if you will, of e-commerce SEO. I'm going to make an assumption that you're all here because you want to learn some practical questions about e-commerce SEO. I can see Ameya in the audiences have already asked a Q&A, about Q&A. So I want all of you to walk away from this session with a lot of extremely practical things that you could do for your e-commerce business. So I just want to get continue to get a sense of the audience. So if we've got a scale of 1 to 5, and 1 is I've heard of SEO, I know that there's a meta tag or something, and that's kind of it. And 5 is, Deepak, I've got my canonicals in place. I know about no index, no follow. I rechecked our sitemap structure. We're writing proper product descriptions. We've got schema markup in place. If that's 5 and 1 is what's a meta tag, could you please write your number so I get a sense of where you guys are at with your journey in SEO, because it'd be good to see, you know, how many 5s versus 1s that we've got, to make sure I'm not telling for anybody obvious shit that you already know, which to some of you may know, but I want to see. So we've got a couple of 1s, but the good news is that, I say the good news, the news is that it looks like we've got everybody who's got an okay-ish level of sophistication, which is good. So I think broadly everyone has spoken. The next question that I've got is, if I gave you a load of advice, is it, Deepak, I'm going to give this to my SEO team and do absolutely fuck all? Or is it, Deepak, I'm going to be doing it myself? The reason, so write me if it's me, or write team. It doesn't matter what the answer is. This is nothing to do with ego. This is because I want to understand what level or type of advice I should give you, okay? If it's stuff that you're like, well, that's all good and well, but I need a 3-man team to do that, then I don't really want to bother with that advice. Okay, great. So we've got a lot of me's. Me and one other person, and team. We've got some teams and we've got some me's. Great. Thank you guys for the fact finding. So me and our team. Okay, great. So it's more me's and teams, and we've got a couple of teams, and we've got an audience who've got a middling level of SEO, which is good. And then who would, if you would like me to look at your website as we go through things that we could practically improve, just whack your website URL in there. If it's something that you're happy to do, and we can look at your site. When you put your URL in, also, please put a hyphen with your SEO number, meaning, so Jeremy just put Sewing Parts Online. If you can put Sewing Parts Online -3 or -5, so I can understand your knowledge, that would be really good. That'd be really, really good to see. Brilliant. I'm just gonna give it a minute or two to see what the audience puts. Yeah, if you don't know your SEO number, that's fine, guys. It's not a problem at all. Just want to see where you're at. Great. So I'm letting you guys put your sites in. And my final question, before we just kind of dig into it, is, would you all prefer if I looked at the sites that you see listed in this audience, so we could look at things that relate to your sites, or would you prefer me just to take an example of a site and go into it? So write example if you're like, Deepak, I'm happy with an example, because, you know, it could, or if you're like, Deepak, just start going through these sites one by one, and let me know. So example for example, and me for, I want you to look at my site, dude. we got lots of me's here. We got lots of me's, which is cool. And bum. I now am going to figure out also how to make Shekhar the host again.
Just hit my name and make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit your name and make co-host. There you go. Maybe co-host is a way. Does that work, dude?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Two beautiful faces. All right, guys, this is brilliant. Okay. So look, as I said, I wanted to keep it super practical. So I'm going to go ahead and look at a site right now. So we're going to begin by looking at, first of all, give me a second, guys. Cool. So let's have a look at sewing. Is it Sewing Parts Online? Here's a site. That's Jeremy's site. Jeremy, Mr. Jeremy Kuru, any information you want to give me? It's cool. But let me just grab the URL. Apologies, guys. And let me see if I can share my screen. There you go. Sweet. And if you have any specific questions, by the way, put them in the chat. There's things that as their only panelists. Ah, okay. So Amia said that she can't see many of the comments as their only panelists.
Yeah, everybody's got to put up their comments to both panelists.
Yeah. So if any of you can't see many comments, do make sure. So there's a load of comments, but everyone's putting them as panelists. So put them as panelists and hosts. I'm going to show you guys now. Can you guys all see my screen? Brilliant. So just so you see in the chat, guys, what's happening very quickly. Let me just show you the chat. This is what's actually going on. So a lot of you put in which doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But Jeremy, sir, let's just have a quick look at your site. Okay. So So we're on Jeremy's site right now, and it's very evident to see that Jeremy has set his site up with SEO in mind. You see that from the amount of categories that he's got. If we look across the top, okay. Now the thing that typically SEOs do, which is of course important, is you put this through an SEO tool typically. So the SEO tools that many of you probably are familiar with are Ahrefs and SEMrush. So what we're going to do is whilst I start going through the site, I'm going to load up Ahrefs. And I'm also going to load up SEMrush. Did you say something, Shikhar?
Yeah, what I can see right now is suingpaths.com. Is that what we're supposed to be seeing?
Yes. Can you see my other page that I've moved to?
No, I think you've just shared one window. Maybe that's why.
Okay. All right. 1 second. Let me stop share and let me reshare.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
1 second. Desktop, Safari. Hit to share multiple. Shit.
I think just share desktop. I think that'll share the entire thing, and then you're good to go.
Can you see stuff now?
It's loading up. Let's give it a second.
What are you seeing now?
It says Deepak Shukla started sharing, but I don't see the screen yet.
Is it a black screen?
It is a black screen.
Oh, that's a pain in the ass. Okay. All right. Hang on, guys. I'm going to try this once more. How about now?
It is loading up. Let's give it a second. Nope.
Nothing?
Are you choosing the desktop option, or are you choosing something else?
Yeah. I'm choosing the desktop. So, sorry, guys, about this. Is the first time this has happened. Let me try something different. What about now? I've just shared Safari.
This is surprising. I don't know. Why do you stop sharing? Us share again. Maybe that sort of helps Zoom reset whatever it is that it's going through. Let's give it a shot. Do you see my screen at all?
Yeah, I see yours. Why we decided to talk about this?
Yeah. Okay. Now give it a shot. Maybe
Yeah.
you never know what works.
I've got no idea what's going on.
How to enter? No, this is
no luck.
Ridiculous.
Okay, all right, guys. I am going to do one thing, but otherwise, then I'll adapt. I'm going to exit. I'm going to come back in. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to go out. I'm going to come back in.
Let's do that. So people have started to point out that Suing Paths has amazing organic traffic. Great. Seem to have doubled in the last year. That's amazing. That's good stuff. Let's see why it happened. Maybe we let Deepak definitely decode that. We'll just give it a minute. Should be back any second. I'm just gonna allow you to. I'm just gonna make sure that you can share your video.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Yeah, see if you can.
Give me a second. Okay.
Back in action.
What about now?
2 thumbs up. We're good to go. Awesome.
Okay, brilliant. Sorry about that, guys. I've got no idea what happened. So, right. So great. So thank you. This is Jeremy's site, right? So Jeremy, first of all, you know, you know what? Let's start with your actual site and go and talk about the obvious quick wins. So guys, the one of the biggest things that most people don't think about is, as you can see from Sewn Parts Online, he's got a domain reputation of 43, right? Which is in relation to the top level URL. So top level URL is, if you think about a website, the top level will be sewingpartsonline.com. Anything after that is the secondary level, if you will, if you think about a website's taxonomy. So the brand name, just like Deepak Shukla or like ConvertCar or whatever it would be, would get the most links over time. From a brand, you know, that's why brand search is the biggest indicator of brand relevancy. And as we know, the best way and that Google is able to determine intent is through words. You know, visual is huge, and we know that's growing, and you all are in visual businesses, but Google will analyze words before it analyzes anything else. This website would stand to see a benefit from simply adding, you know, 1,000 words onto the homepage. Okay, it's a simple and obvious thing that you can all think about. Now, there's a couple of things to think about within this. Google is pretty good at detecting and ignoring links that are in the header and footer. So a lot of people do this from an SEO perspective, because we know that we want to include additional links on our homepage to probably link internally, and also it's about, you know, the actual the site map of the site map of your whole overall web shop. So putting there's 2 things here that are important. So Jeremy, you'd see a boost from just adding 1,000 words. Now again, don't add spammy content, make it contextually relevant, all of that kind of stuff. But the point that I make here is that Google at scale, and this is why it relates to links as well. The biggest challenge that people often have is, if we now go into, and can you guys see Ahrefs right now? Just to be sure. Okay, brilliant. If you stop seeing screens at any point, interrupt me. If people are finding the stuff that I'm saying shit, I'm going to add you know, feel free. Sean said he can't see screen. Can you not see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Amir said she can see. Sean, okay, all right, fine. Sorry about that, Sean. I'm not sure what's going on, but if others can't see, but yeah, it looks frozen. I'm moving up and down now on Ahrefs. Can you guys see that?
No, it is frozen. That's true.
This is fucking killing me. Okay. Let's try for the last time. Otherwise, I'm going to do this differently and talk you through some stuff, which is not great, but I can still probably show you quite a lot. I've just reshared. How is it now?
We're back to where we were. I can see that you're trying to share your screen, but I don't see your screen. I don't know why this is.
Okay, fine.
Happening.
It's my guys. That's probably my fault. We're gonna do this still the same. We're gonna look at it a little bit differently. So I talked about content on your homepage, and there's going to be a lot of similarities that are important here. So in your case, Jeremy, we saw that your site would benefit from 1,000 words, let's say, on the homepage. Now, the important thing here, do it on audio without screen share.
So you want me to sort of move things around on my screen and
yeah, okay, yeah, let's do it that way. Fuck it.
It'll be slower, but yeah, at least
it's all right. Guys, it's my fault, my fuck up. You'll still get value, no problem. So just go to Sewing Parts Online. Okay, great. So this will apply to a lot of businesses here. So just if you don't worry about Ahrefs, because I can still see it from my side and I can talk through some stuff. So if you're a site owner of an e-commerce website, adding 1,000 words or more to your homepage will help you a lot. It's the site that it's the domain that gets linked to the most de facto, no matter how big you grow. So most site owners miss out that opportunity when it comes to your sites. Now, you may look at big sites that ignore those rules. Okay, so you might look at a site, for example, such as, I don't know, let's just say Amazon or Currys or Walmart. Okay, now the thing to remember is that not everybody plays by the same rules. You don't need to, what's it, who's this saying this here? A few examples of sites that do 1,000 words on the homepage. Yeah, I'm going to try and find a couple of sites, but you will not play by the same rules, for example, as Amazon, as an example. Amazon have such big domain authority that they can do things that other sites can't do by sheer strength of their actual brand. So adding content to your site is really, okay, here we go. So I just Googled vape shops just to see what came up. The first site on page 1, let me just see what comes up. So scroll down. Is it, yeah, scroll down, that's fine, that's fine. It should come up. So scroll down, and is the site that comes up, hold on. I'll just see on your search, vapestore.co.uk. So yours is vaping.com. Let's have a look at vaping.com. But vapestore.co.uk, yeah, fine. So open this site. Guys, you're going to see a live example of something I just fucking randomly Googled. Scroll down to the bottom, dude. Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. I mean, guys, do you see what they've done? And second point, so these guys have got SEOs running their site. Now look at where they've got links. Google ignores a lot of links that are attached to call to action buttons. They're great for referring internal traffic, meaning that if you want someone to action shit on your site, you add, of course, an add to cart button. But Google tends to attribute less value to those links. When you use in-text, internal links on a homepage, they actually help your internal linking structure a lot more heavily. The second thing is that what often happens, and Shekard is showing it now, is a lot of big sites. So many of you guys will have, so yeah, Jason's asking about, does it matter where the text, how high the text is? Put it at the bottom only because I think that from a UX experience, a lot of people would say there's no fucking way I'm going to put content at the top of my site, and I get that. Google, from a content perspective, as you can imagine, Google passes through words quicker than it passes through images, and the faster it reads images, content, as in words, the more SEO juice it's going to give it. But there's a big kind of UX experience at play. So from an SEO perspective, if we were to discount content, then so Simply Electrical is saying that, this makes our website look cheap. I think it's the case. The way that this guy has done it is horrible, which is different, right? This guy has not consulted a UX UI person. I mean, if you scroll up to the top of the site in general, if we look at Vape Store, it's not, what's obvious to me, for example, and this is probably for a lot of you, it doesn't look like a Shopify store, which probably a lot of you build upon, and it doesn't have some of the design fundamentals. But assuming you include design fundamentals with this, then that's just a challenge. I mean, there was an example of, I think, where I'd need to find it, but even like Apple had a new product launch, and they had like endless scroll with loads of content, but they involved a designer. So yeah, there's a design challenge, but don't let that stop you because of the SEO value. Now, the second element that Shekard is already showing for all of you is that you will have on a regular basis, and this is the other challenge, that you might, for example, be like, okay, let me ask you a different question. How many of you have content that's actively going up on your website? So write yes for yes, we blog, or whatever it might be, and write no if you don't. It's okay if you don't, okay? Because I just want to understand how many people blog. Please click panelists and attendees so that everyone can see, what the general consensus is, because you're all e-commerce businesses. So we've got about 50-50 yeses and nos, probably.
There's a few no's for just panelists, and there's a couple of yeses also for just panelists. Again, yeah. Please select both panelists and attendees when you're responding.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's okay. Look, I think that the thing to consider here is that sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments. Okay, so some of the things to consider is that content, whether content is important to Google, okay? And it sounds crazy, but there's so many sites that don't have good content on some of their product pages. Let's go over to Sewing Parts Online. Actually, you know what? No, let's switch it. So someone in the chat, Warren, has written highernature.com. Let's pull up highernature.com, Shekar. because let's just have a look at another site. So Warren, we're going to have a look at your site now. I think Jeremy, so in parts, thank you, Jeremy. I hope that was useful. Please, anybody, don't be insulted, if you will, by anything that I say. I just mean it from your best interest. So let's have a look at this site now. Let's if you scroll down, let's go to one of his products. Let's just have a look at a random product.
I don't have Hrefs, but I have SEMrush.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, we'll be able to use that as well. Okay. Okay, so this is so Higher Nature is who? 1 second. That's Warren. So let's scroll down to this. Let's scroll down. Okay. All right. So a couple of things here. One of the things that is useful to know. Okay. So number one, if you scroll up to the top, what Warren has done here that I do like actually is that this product is unavailable. Now, he's got a notification option. Now, for some of you who, there's two ways to think about this, and I'll touch upon this briefly because I don't know how many people this applies to. There's a couple of things he's done well, and there's a couple of things he could tweak. The things that he's done well is that he's not removed the page. So you will get probably, so if you put this into, if you put this into SEMrush, it'd be interesting to see if this page drives any traffic. Let's just have a look. Now it comes from his home page. So my feeling is that, so it doesn't get any organic search traffic, but it's got 4. Okay, great. Now here's the interesting part, guys. Go to backlinks, click on backlinks. So he's got 4 can you see where it says backlinks here? Okay, cool. So what sometimes happens is before you guys have a product that goes out of stock and then you tear the page down, have a look at the backlink value of pages. One of the things I often see, and we'll go back to his page right now, is number one, when you have a product that's unavailable, you can either redirect that page back up to a category. So if I search, for example, for health body, immune health, and then immune glucans, and that is unavailable, you can set up a redirect so it goes back up to immune health. That's one option. Okay, what has happened here is that he's kept the page because whilst the page in SEMrush shows it doesn't have organic traffic, he is keeping it because he wants to continue. This product probably has continuity, I'm guessing, and he wants to maintain traffic and rankings for this page. The other consideration, guys, by the way, is SEMrush and Hrefs. Although it shows 0, 0 is not fucking 0, okay? You can look in Google Search Console to determine the true impressions a page is driving. One of the interesting things about SEMrush and Hrefs, they are the industry standards, but there are lots of examples that I've seen of pages that get 0 search as according to Hrefs and SEMrush that do drive organically, maybe 10 to 100 visitors a month that do convert. There's some value with that. Now, what hasn't happened on this page, or what is a consideration, where you see ingredients, daily intake, and cautions, click on them again, Shekhar. Yep. So now this is something that's in debate, and interestingly, we're probably, Pearl Lemon are doing something that arguably we maybe shouldn't do, and I'll explain the reasons and rationale why. So Google does read content that is in what are these called? Basically expandable bars. Let's call them expandable bars for the moment.
Accordion navigation menu.
There you go. Yeah. So accordions. There you go, Jason. Accordions. Some people, some SEOs debate, just like we spoke about the header and footer example. Google disregards or de-weights accordions. Okay, meaning that they don't get as much SEO value because Google thinks that they're there for SEO. They're not there to serve kind of the user experience, and you don't really want people to read them. That's why they're clickable and expandable. Now, depending upon someone's UX, you can determine what you want to do with that. With the way that Higher Nature has set it up, I would say that I would expand them, because you've already got content on this page. So why not include it there, given that you've already got, for example, what have you got here? You've got the bullet points, and you've got give your system, additional protection. So I would include those elements and not keep them in accordions, okay? That's the other thing. The next thing is that we see 4 reviews. Is that expandable? Is that a Trustpilot embed? What's happened there? Okay, all right, fine. So I would, actually on this page, grab some of the reviews, and here we go. Don't hide those, dude. That's it, basically. My big point is don't fucking hide them. Keep them expanded. That also helps your UX experience, because people will just see that they've got great reviews. Google is more likely to index them. So everybody, if you're looking at this, when you think about your product pages, there's some things here that have been done very well, what I do like, and there's some things that I would tweak as well. And then there's just the obvious UX stuff, which is Wellmune is aligned with the higher nature stuff, but it feels misaligned to some degree. But there's a lot of good things on this page. So does anyone have any questions about product pages before I move on to someone else's website? Let me just have a look quickly.
I'll also quickly add another factor, given that we're working in conversion optimization for a long time. You know, aesthetic is one end of the spectrum and functionality is the other end of the spectrum. If you're adding a boatload of content at the end of your homepage, you've got to really first watch how many people actually scroll all the way to the bottom. Because while everybody is so worried about aesthetic and so worried about conversion rate and how, you know, losing aesthetic is going to affect conversion rate, that's not a viable hypothesis at all. Because you would be surprised how many people don't reach the bottom of the page. The category nav bar, all of the distraction you have for them in the first 2 or 3 folds, the search bar, that's where people go. That's what they do. So even if you were to add a boatload of content, which has immense SEO value, and you think that's aesthetically displeasing or it's going to affect your conversion rate, I can tell you it's not going to affect your conversion rate negatively at all. It's probably going to help it, because if it gets you right kind of traffic, your conversion rate anyways go up. So
agreed. Agreed. Let's have a look, Shekhar, at Jason Espina has added Myo Band. Let's just have a look at Myo. Oh, did you already have it up? Sorry, dude. Ah, cool. So let's not look at his product page, only because we've already done product pages. Sorry, Jason, mate. I'm going to try and look at something different for everyone's site to see if there's other things that we can identify. Let's have a look at his blog, because Jason has a blog and you guys are blogging. And I think it's important to cover blogs in general. Okay, so a couple of things also to mention. To speed, here's a quick trick. Now, remember we spoke, let's go back to his homepage. Okay, so and a lot of you guys have this, right? How many of you write yes if you agree, or no if it's not been your experience? How many of you have written like a couple of blogs and thought, fuck, they're not getting any fucking traffic? Like, what is the point? They're not helping. Write yes if you've had an experience like that, or write no if you've written them and they've got SEO juice and they're doing quite well. So again, just be honest. I want to see the experiences that people have had with content, that you write some blogs and they don't really go anywhere. So we're getting some people that are doing well. We also get some people, you know, I've written a load of blogs, they've done fucking nothing as well. So, you know, okay, great. Now, so quick win. You don't really know. Absolutely. Yes, but no traffic. To speed up indexation cycles and to speed up ranking of your blogs, it is really powerful if you combine the most crawled page on your website with new blogs that you put out. Okay, so the most crawled page on your website, everyone should know this. We spoke about it as being the site, the page that gets the most links. I'm going to wait for someone to say it. Which page would always get the most links and the most authority on anyone's website? Yeah, brilliant. So we've got homepage, great. So if you use, like, go back to Vape Store, no, scroll down on this blog on Myo Band. It's not on the blog. Okay, great. So here. Now, welcome to Myo Band. Now, he has added, for example, protein juice right there. So if we open that page up, let's open up protein juice. Okay. So what's interesting here is that, now, this is really interesting. So Jason, you have done that probably from an internal link architecture perspective. One of your SEO team has said, let's add this here because it's helpful. If we and you've got a lot of content on this page as well, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Now let's go back. We're gonna take this to another level. Go back to your homepage and scroll down. So we've got basically if we scroll, so we've got a lot of content, okay, as well, and we've got blogs that are here, okay. Now this is an embeddable section on your homepage, which is the blog, which is the recipes. The way to ultimately speed up the indexing and ranking is to have a section, 200 words on your homepage, where you swap out the links on a regular basis for new pages that you want to index really quickly and that you want to boost the rankings for, because your homepage is being crawled every fucking day, 50 times a day, 100 times a day, whatever it is. It's being crawled more than any other page on your site. So Google will index and crawl anything that's on your homepage. So what you can do, Jason, is if you then identify, right, I've got 50 blogs, ask one of your SEO team, of all of those 50 blogs, which are the blogs that are almost breakout or which are poor performing or whatever you want to do. And you can, on a monthly basis, ultimately start swapping out those links. So you can take a 300-word section of your homepage. And remember, it's got to be in-text links. So you saw the latest blog section there, Shekhar, as you scroll down. Now, this of course works well, but Google recognizes that that's ultimately a panel that you built in. So it places more importance from a link perspective to what you did with, was it the protein thing that we saw where there was an internal link in the content, dude? Yeah, exactly. So Google places more contextual relevance and link relevance on that. So everybody can do the same with their blog content to get quicker returns from content. And then what you do, as soon as you see, whoosh, it's starting to get indexed, you can then, if you want to, after X weeks, choose to ultimately pull that link if you want to, because it's going to start generating its own impressions. So that's a consideration. Now let's go to, let's I hope that helps, Jason. Let's see who else is, let's go to White.
We have a question in the Q&A. You want to take a look at that?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, let me have a look, guys. We have a brand philosophy page. We'd better to make that as part of the homepage at the bottom and add an anchor tag for links. Timepiece. Let's go to timepiece.com. Let's have a look. So this is Aitan CISO is asking about his page.
Watch it, right up my alley. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, scroll down. Let's have a look at his page.
There's some testimonials. That's about it. I think this is probably an Instagram feed. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, and let me just, so in short, adding content, yes. Let me just have a look at, okay, so short, adding content, yes. Adding brand philosophy, okay, so here's a question that everybody should consider, and this is what determines the content, and it answers your question, Aitan. What are you trying to do with your homepage? So what I mean by that is, if there's a target word, so for example, I'm Pearl Lemon, right? I'm Deepak. I'm an SEO agency owner. So go over to pearllemon.com right now. I'm going to show you an example of what I mean. You go to pearllemon.com right now, okay? We have this debate internally that what am I meant to fucking rank the homepage for? Am I trying to rank it, or am I trying to use it for a brand perspective? Now, if you look at Timepiece and you compare this with Pearl Lemon, just scroll down and you'll see that I'm talking about SEO agency, basically stuff. You'll see, guys, you also see how fucking long it is, by the way, but you know, granted, we're an SEO agency, so you could say that, you know, it's a bit different, and we've got our internal links, and here we go. So scroll up there, you can see my little section here. You've come to the right place. We're experts here. If you open up any of those, I think, do they go to blogs or internal links? But we swap these out, dude, every month. We just swap them out to increase that. So that's that part there that we just made references to. But if you now go back to Timepiece, this is the question that you've all got to answer that I can't answer for you. If you're going after a keyword on your homepage, then you write content that's relevant to that keyword. If you're not doing it and you're just doing it for brand, then that's also good, because it also gives you that ability to you know, internally add links, so you can use it for a link perspective as well as a target keyword perspective. So for example, if you do 500 words about your philosophy about watches, that's not going to target a keyword really, but it will give you the ability to add internal links. So you need to make that decision. I'm hoping that answered your question, Aitan. I'm going to assume it did because it disappeared. Yeah, great. All right, brilliant. So we were going to someone else. Was it White Mountain Puzzle? I feel like there was a puzzle site. Fucking great name, Sean, by the way, mate. I just like the name. All right. Okay, cool. let's have a look at his blog, because we haven't actually had a look at a blog. And I feel like it's relevant to look at somebody's blog. Does he have a blog?
Yeah, that's what I'm hunting for. Shop by pieces. Let me go to the footer and see if there's something there. Mary and
Okay,
no, not
but
really.
no problem. So let's instead scroll up to his homepage. He's got FAQs, isn't he? Let's go to FAQs. Let's talk a little bit about FAQs on sites in general. It was at the bottom, I think. Okay, no. Let's talk at the top. Let's go back to the top. Just this is a general thing. In my opinion, whose site is this? Crap. What's his name? Sean Buddy. In my opinion, did you see what Shekhar just did? He got confused because there's too many fucking options, dude. Now, this has actually an SEO impact, because when you start generating traffic, okay, one of the big things where conversion rate optimization and SEO meet is Google takes really seriously something called dwell time, okay? And dwell time, pogo sticking, you might know them as how much time someone fucking spends on your site and how quickly they fucking leave your site, okay? Now, when the difference in going from rank number 3 to rank number 1 is all about that stuff. It's actually SEO becomes a UX and conversion rate optimization game, because Google then it's like, you know, let me think. How good is, sorry, go ahead.
I have a crazy example, and this is actually one of our clients. So they are a company that deals in phone repair parts for phones, your camera, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they had a homepage that started probably here, right? So you could go through a bunch of stuff, or you could go through this entire nav bar. So you could, if you had an iPhone 12, maybe iPhone 11, you'd go to iPhone 12, and let's say you were looking for a screen. So you basically get all the parts related to the iPhone 12. And then if you miss this navigation here, then you're scrolling through this whole thing and the filters are complete shit, as you can see.
Yeah.
Now, what we did is we created this product selection wizard for them, and we ran an A/B test. So that's what we do for a living. I'd like to say we're good at it. And now what you do when you come to the site is you just say, I need a screen. I need it for my Apple iPhone, and I need it for my iPhone 7, let's say. And it just takes you to the product. So, but what this has done is that this has made the site so sticky that even if somebody just Googled, hey, I'm looking for a phone repair parts or something like that, you've made their journey so intuitive that they stick around. And Google looks at that as one of the most precious metrics. If people stick around on your site just that much longer, it puts you above your competition like nothing else. So probably that's what you're pointing at, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And to add to that, guys, if we stay on Myoband, actually go back to Myoband, because I think it's his name, Jason. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, great. So guys, there's the rule of 3s, right? Beginning, middle, end. People remember shit in 3s. So when it comes, you see it, they talk about it in direct response copywriting, that having 3 bullet points, there was the beginning, there was the middle, and then there was the end. Obama, power of 3, is known for it with some of his, previous presidential speeches. This also applies to nav menus. 6 is a sweet number. You've used 6. It's actually the magic number when it comes to the way that people's minds think. 3 is probably too little. 6 is a good number. I don't know how many there are there, dude. But is there 9? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9. Yeah. So there's 9.
One of the interesting things is each call to action is 3 words. So you're talking about some 27 words in the category nav bar, which is ridiculous, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So anyway, Sean, we banged on about this. I'm sure you get it. It's all good. Let's go to his FAQ page, dude, because I wanted to have a look at FAQs, because FAQs is something that people put across sites in general in different places. Okay, so this is about shipping and all that kind of stuff. Let's make this, okay. So guys, FAQs is something that is an underrated strategy that you can use across your entire bloody website. So FAQs are ultimately, and this is, now let's do a second test. So sorry, it is Jason, isn't it? Hold on, is it Sean? White man said, Sean, I'm so sorry. I feel like a bloody arsehole now. Sean, if we go to one of Sean's shop by pages, let's go to a product that he's got on his page. This carries quite a decent amount of SEO value. Let's go to an individual product. Any product will do. Great. Let's go to product details. Great. Scroll down. Do we have an FAQ here? No. Okay, cool. Yeah. So guys, so think about adding content. Think about what that does for SEO, and think about UX experience. FAQs belong on the page that they're contextually relevant to. So if there's you see Amazon do it all the time. Have you always noticed that Amazon have a questions and answers section per product, right? That you can then go and figure out if you're buying like an adapter from Amazon, you can have a look at, what people make of that adapter, etc. So this carries great SEO value because it mimics the way that people actually think about decision making. So if you just identify a random product now on Amazon, dude, just go to any product that's a popular product on Amazon and let's have a look at their sections. Shekhar, are you able to do that, dude? Just go to Amazon. Anywhere, Amazon, it's all good, because I want you to kind of restructure the way that you think about some of your product. Okay, so now let's just go down to this. Let's just scroll down to what they do right at the bottom. They should have a question and answer section here, shouldn't they?
I think this is still a fairly new product, so I think the question and answer section is right here.
There we go. There you go. There it was. I saw it there.
Not even at the bottom. It's fairly well prioritized.
Yeah. So guys, the trick here is there's something called FAQ schema. So frequently asked schema markup. So your technical team will be familiar with this, depending on people. If you've got a developer on a product page. So if we now so did you find the questions here, by the way, dude? You did, didn't you? Okay, cool. So at the moment, yeah, there's 56 questions, aren't there? So if you click see more, right at the bottom, it says see more answered questions 56. You'll see it just there. Yeah, sweet. So there's ultimately a lot of SEO data that you guys capture that you're not making use of. You probably get like at least 3 to 50 commonly asked questions about your best-selling products. Add them to your page. Add the answers. And then even allow people to fucking upvote the answers to your questions. Watch your SEO shoot up, watch your user engagement shoot up, because it's more content, because it's contextually relevant content. And then what you do is you combine something. So there's a thing called schema. So schema basically is like structured data. Google gets lots of different types of data that it will look at to understand an entity. So an example is a structured piece of data. If you look at an architectural plan, would be, well, this has a what appears to be a unit that has a 2 electrical appliances and it's marked oven. This must be a kitchen, and there are items that denote that. So on a page like this, or let's go to his product page now. Let's go back to White Mountain Puzzles. Sorry about this, J Car. I wish my screen worked. I feel fucking bad, mate. You can add
the most attentive person in the call right now.
You can add product schema, which is the product schema, which is identifying this is a product. You can add review schema, which tells Google that these are a set of reviews. So Google might not pay proper attention to your 65 reviews. And there's Google structured data testing tool. Just Google structured data testing tool, and you'll find a tool to identify what schemas, like markups that you use. I forget the exact URL. Yeah, there you go, data testing tool. And then you could run, let's run his page through the tool to see what comes up. Let's run any of them. Yeah, this one. Just have a look at what schema's on there. Run test. Let's just see what comes up. Jason, about the more you add to pages, the slower pages get.
With text, not really, right? If you're talking about content, it should not slow the site down. And if it does slow the site down, you gotta continue to take a look at data. That's probably one of the most important. I mean, data is king for this kind of questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jason, so it doesn't. Let's have a look. So this is there's 8 warnings. Okay, great. So hold on, my something's in the way. What I would do is it looks like there's some product schema here. Scroll. Is there any review schema here, dude? Scroll back up. Zoom out. Sorry. I don't think there's a review schema here, is there? Product review schema. Yeah, so you want to have a look at the different kinds of schemas that you can get. And it says there that like, the review field is recommended. So you might go back to your devs and be like, look, we need to fill in the review schema so Google can identify the fact that we've got reviews here. It is picking up some of the data, but it'd be a case of clearing out the warnings that are there. So you can have a look at this and cross-reference it and look at the structured data for your product pages, add FAQs to your product pages, and you'll get a pretty decent result. So
does it mean that it's not picking up the description of the product, because that's probably the most important piece of information, right?
So basically what it means is it's about telling Google what kind of product this is, rather than adding individual descriptions, because that's duplication of effort. Google has identified that, okay, if you scroll back up to the top again and minimize these expansions, so minimize that. So we've got product, yeah. And then within that, it's about basically identifying all of the relevant elements that you put in, clearing out the warnings, and you'll just get a better result across the board. And then you apply the same logic to all your product pages. So there is a copy paste element to it, guys. It's not that you're filling in individual structured data for all of your product pages. It's that you do one, you clear out all of the warnings, and then you apply the same logic to all of your product pages. And that's how you think about it. Let's do, how much time do we have left, by the way, Shekhar? I'm so sorry, mate.
I think we have 4 minutes as far as, because we blocked like an hour, but I don't know if everybody's game, we can keep going. I'm game.
Yeah. Apparently 44.
I definitely want to take a couple of more questions. There's another question on Q&A, which talks about how important it is to have data.
Let's do this, guys. Do you want to just, I'm sorry if I've not got to a question that you've asked or I've not got to your site. Obviously you can ping me and I'll look at your site directly at Pearl Lemon, but please, if you've got questions, anything you want, just dump them into the Q&A right now. And I'll try and answer. So we'll give you a minute to do that while I answer the questions one by one. So, okay, the Jason's question, right? About, brilliant. So how important is the metadata on auto-generated tag pages created by Shopify for SEO? So tag pages are not important because they're pages that just relate to tags. Google has something called crawl budget, meaning that it allocates a certain amount of time that it will give to its robots to crawl your website. So that budget is determined by your authority, basically, it's interestingly enough, it's determined by your SEO, because SEO is how Google determines a site's importance, right? And then it will allocate a budget to crawl all of your pages. If you have a load of pages that aren't that relevant, you want to look at no indexing certain pages. So tag pages, like where it just contains like the tag cloud, I'd probably not consider as being important. Other pages like contact us page, you don't need to really index that because people can find that on the website once they're there. So when you begin to think about pages that you don't want to actually index, and this is a cool trick, I think. I say it's a trick, maybe it's obvious, but think about all of the pages that you don't give a shit about for being found in search. No index all of them, like your refunds page, your privacy policy page, have a look at pages that get found in search and no index as many as you can that are irrelevant, because that improves Google's ability to crawl the rest of your website, which might be commercially more important to you.
Interesting.
So I think that was the only question, which is cool. The other question that we had was, what is the best value of time we have being a small business for SEO? That's a good question. So guys, I obviously went through a lot, and some of you might be overwhelmed and thinking, I can't, this is a lot. A broad way to think about this is there's two things that really matter to SEO mostly. It's links and it's content. Okay, so we spoke, if we go back to any of those sites that you loaded up, if you went back to the White Mountain puzzle site, dude.
Yeah. And Deepak, I'd like to interrupt you because I think this is a quick time check, and I know that people will want to leave, at least for the ones that have.
Yes.
We did have 2 giveaways we promised, and all the promotions that we did for this. So I want to make sure that we talk about that, because I don't want to get any kind of hate for my next webinar, because I'm going to be doing at least 1 or 2 each month. But the bottom line about the giveaway is just 2 things. So Deepak, as you, I'm sure, are confident right now, knows a thing or two about SEO. He's offered to do a free, full-blown SEO audit for any of your sites. This is going to be, of course, no charge, and he's going to, of course, spend some time with you to walk you through what he found as far as SEO gaps go. For ConvertCard, we are amazing at conversion rate optimization, and now you know why conversion rate optimization is so important to your SEO, to even bring the right kind of people to your site. So we are happy to do a detailed page-by-page audit of your site's experience to find where you lose customers and revenue. So let's come back to the conversation. We'll be sending you an email anyways after this webinar. Feel free to reply to that email. We'll get the audit set up on both sides. Yeah.
Guys, you know, I've had a really great experience with the guys at ConvertCart, and I hope you do too. If you get connected with them, they've helped a couple of our clients, you know, go from that 23% increase in revenue. It was over about a month. It was crazy. One of the guys in particular. So I'm gonna answer 3 more questions, and then I'm gonna just.
Jason says Deepak for Prime Minister.
Yeah. Yes, Jason, my man. I'm gonna answer 3 more questions, guys, and then I'm gonna be like, you've heard enough from me. So question number 1 was the best value of time. I'm gonna pick the questions now as well. The best value of time. Look, that's really difficult to answer, but it's you know, if it's SEO, it's content and it's links. It sounds like simple, but you would here is the key thing, I think, that acquiring, spend some time, like a couple of hours going through technical. So the way that I approach anything that is new, what works for me, I would Google as many e-commerce SEO tips that I could find. I would put them into a spreadsheet, and then I would cross-reference them with things that I can do versus things I don't understand, and try and tick off as many quick wins as possible. So rather than that's one thing that you can do. And then the other thing you can do is obviously the homepage thing with content. And then links is an ongoing thing. So I don't know if I've answered that question very well, if I'm being honest. I don't know if any of that is particularly new to you. But I'd say content, and I'd say improving your product pages. There's a lot that can be done with product pages that I think will go a long way. So focusing on those 2 things, I think will help you a lot. So that's that one there. The next question was from Malvika. My site is geocological. I'm still building it. I don't have a lot of things on the homepage. Okay, so that's suggestions for homepage. I will not answer that one, Malvika. I'm so sorry. I would just say have a look at some of the others and copy people to a degree. I'll come back to it actually, depending upon the other questions that we've got. My dev guy has said you can't see how to add FAQ on product pages. So Simply Electrical, email me about it. I talked to Mayor in my team to find out. So let's go back to Is there any other questions? Final one. You know what? Let's open up Malvika's website. Let's just open it up, dude. Let's have a look at it. It's in the Q&A. Well done, but
for the kind of content you can have on a homepage, basically.
Yeah, cool. So scroll down. Let's talk about stuff that
that's it.
Let's talk about stuff that's non-obvious. Great. So now let's go to one of the sites that was here. Let's go to the White Mountain Puzzle. No, let's go to the sewing website. The first website we looked at. Let's go to the sewing website. This one's a good one. So let's go to Vape Store homepage. Let's talk about the things that they haven't done. That I think. So scroll up. Sorry, as well. Cool. So guys, some things that I'd add that they haven't is they haven't added any brands that they work with. People are used to seeing from a trust perspective, and this is the interesting thing. People don't even necessarily have to recognize who the brands are when they see a scroll for either as featured in or companies we work with, but people see public association with another brand, irrespective of whether the brand is familiar or not to you, as a sign of trust. Okay, so I don't know who Shikard is, but Shakara seems to be saying, I work with Frank, Melanie, Tiffany, and George. I don't know who they are either, but you know what? If he's publicly talking about these other people, that is a trust signal, because I could, if I wanted to, look them up. The truth is I'm fucking lazy. I'm not going to look them up, but I might. So adding that is one thing that I would actually think about. So that's and there's different types of social logos, if you will. There's partners, which companies that you partner with. There's as featured in for press and brand. So that's one thing, and we'll add one more final thing. Let's scroll down to Vape Store, see what else they've got, dude.
I can recommend one, which is some of the key value props. We've done that as an A/B test on multiple sites, adding basic value props like we have 24-hour customer service, we ship instantly, we have a guarantee for our quality, that kind of stuff. So just those few stats, visual elements, but they also of course have text in them. So I think that really goes a long way.
Absolutely. And the final thing I would say, and it's whether you want to do it or not, but adding a human being on your homepage, like a picture of a fucking human. It's so the biggest thing that's growing today, and you guys all know it, and there's the deep irony, is the influencer marketing is the biggest thing in the world in terms of the promotion of a brand, meaning that Conor McGregor was bigger than the UFC, arguably. Tiger Woods was bigger than golf. Michael Jordan was bigger than the NBA. Yet you guys aren't adding any of people into your branding. People are what, especially you will sell more. Go to Moxie Lash. Yeah.
I have an example. So this is our homepage as we see it right now. We're working on a new one for one of our products, which is an email marketing, product.
Yeah.
And so just soak this in, and then you take a look at this.
And guys, I've not seen this before either, by the way. So fuck. There you go.
So it kind of hits you harder. And of course, you go through the first thing that I did when I saw this page is I read the entire copy. Whereas in this case, I was not able to read the copy somehow. I don't know why, but
yeah, exactly. We've got the same problem on our website, by the way, guys. We got rid of me, and now I'm like, fuck, we need to maybe put me back in, because I disappeared until the bottom, and that's a problem. It's not good that people have to go that far before they start seeing humans. So yeah, especially in a service business. For me, it's even worse. I made a fuck up there. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, guys, and that you enjoyed it.
Yep, this was definitely amazing. I think I learned a lot. I don't know about everybody else. There's a couple of votes you have for Prime Minister, so that's good. Thanks a lot for joining in, I would say. I think as many hiccups as we had in the session, I think at the end of the day, we were able to deliver some value as far as I can imagine. We will be getting in touch with everybody here. Deepak should reach out. I'll reach out. Feel free to ask us for those audits. We'd be happy to take a look at your site personally and see what opportunities we can find. Deepak, thanks a lot for making this happen. Maybe we'll do another one. Who knows?
Yeah. Apologies, everybody, for the I'll fix that. But I hope at least everybody at least took away a couple of things. Are like, okay, I can action that. If you do, that's a victory for me.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. Thanks a lot, Deepak.
Cool. Thank you, Chika. See you guys.
Bye-bye.